great in favour of production-based racing. I think we're letting the 250 class die, and I think that's bad. But I agree with everything you said, and of course, modesty should prevent me saying that I was the man who started the Pro-Am series and ran it for the first few years. It was my idea, and I have no regrets whatsoever in starting that competition. I think it's shown young lads on equal machines what it's like to race competitively, and it's given them a good start. I think sometimes people stay too long in the championship, maybe should move over and let other people come in, but I think they're great.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. I've forgotten, of course, Chris, that you were the man behind the Pro-Am series, the original Pro-Am series, and the claim of the Pro-Am series was that possibly the next British world champion would come via the Pro-Am series. And I think we had Mackenzie and Kenny Irons, Rob McElnay, Roger Burnett. They're all lads that have been through the mill, as it were. And I think we got one or two of them out here. I think Kevin Morsley had a go. John Corrin would have liked to have had a go, but he was a little bit late on the scene. So this is going to be a goodie. Now, I said that the numbers of non-starters given, I suspect it would not be accurate. In fact, Darren Dixon is there. Number 4, Darren Dixon is there. He was officially notified as a non-starter, but Dixon is there on the second row of the grid. Now, Darren Dixon, actually, he's got a pretty enviable record. He's won one of the races, which was at Knock Hill, but apart from that, at Mallory Park, Cadwell and Snetterton, he was leading and crashed. So he'll be looking to go a little bit better than that here at Mallory Park this second time around. So it's going to be the dead engine, and away they'll be. Flushing the champion leader, runs on number 12, he's down below us. Alongside him is Scare and Whelm, number 14, Ian Whelm. Then the diminutive Scouser, and that's John Corrin, as they look to the national flag, and away they go. Well, it was that man that did the podium, but he was certainly away with a nice big wheelie. And Derek Ball, I fancy it was. David Ball running under number 8 it was. It was the quick man, but whether he holds that position, the whole pack now in toward Charles for the first time. And let's take a look and see. And Thrushy it is that leads John Corrin in second place. And looking for Muggleton up into 4th place. In fact, Thrushy is not in the lead at the moment. Thrushy's back in 5th position, 5th or 6th place. As they all chop and change, Ian Wareham around the outside of John Corrin. And if you're wondering who the man in front is, it's that man that went away with a big wheelie. I imagine that's still David Ball up front. Well, this is the situation where on the first lap they sort themselves out into some semblance of race pattern, away from not the cleanest of starts, but certainly an exciting start, as away they went for 12 laps. Remember, we've gone up in race distance, and it's John Corrin that leads. It's John Corrin that's setting the pace. Number 10, John Corrin leading from number 8 in second place, David Ball, and number 32, Johnny Towers. Johnny Towers, bring up on team. Well, looking at the table for Johnny Towers, what points he scored. Johnny Towers actually came back from South Africa last year. He spent the formative years of his life, about 8 or 10 years of his life in South Africa, his father having gone out there, a former pro footballer, to take up a player's manager job. And Johnny Towers doesn't take the lead because John Corrin in second place. I fancy it's still Johnny Ball there, or is it? And David Ball it is that still leads. Number 8, David Ball, that is still holding that number 1 place. Well, the number 8 looking very much like a number 9 at long distance, but thankfully we've got the binoculars, not the Carter telescope with us this weekend. So we should be somewhere near with the identification. David Ball, number 8, pace setter. And is it David Ball that leads? No, it's not, because it's Johnny Towers. Johnny Towers from John Corrin, then pushing up in the 53rd place. And taking the third, Darren Dixon in that leading place. Well, Muggleton has got a lot of work to do. He wants to get up with the leaders. And down toward the back, Mick Davison, number 15, and that's a surprise. He's not shot in this series whatsoever, Mick Davison. A man who made his name, and a very good name, particularly down at Brands Hatch, with a lot of 350 and 250 production championship wins. But Johnny Towers it is that still leads, or does he? John Corrin, who we had to give rather severe talking to at Snetterton last week about his earlier performance, and Thrushy around the outside of John Corrin, which is a move back to John Corrin on the run up the hill. So number 32, Johnny Towers it is, the 21-year-old salesman for Devonmead, the man who back in 1984 was the South African 50cc champion. He came here at the middle of 1986, and the first we saw of him was in the single-make Honda Hot Shot series down at Brands Hatch in 1986. There's Johnny Towers leading then, John Corrin in second place, Gary Price in third, going through in fourth place, then here's number 14, Ian Ware, and I think the last of it is, or is it David Ball on the board. enterprise that pays the money out in this one to the successful competitors. And look at the choice here, Lee Thrushy trying around the outside of Johnny Towers. And Johnny Towers, I must confess, in terms of racing stature, has grown and continues to grow with each and every outing. Well, I said he was the 1984 South African 80 champion. He's mixing it now with the big boys here in this series. It's really elbow clashing, knee jostling stuff for the TZR. It's just like the Pro-Am series, just like the original Chris Carter Pro-Am series, as we look for them to come through to complete lap number 4. Wouldn't be anybody's position this time as they come through to complete lap number 4. And it is still Johnny Towers. Johnny Towers going first in second place. Then John Coyne. John Coyne now. Well, coming under pressure from David Bill. Just looking to rush in second place. Very nicely. 24-year-old big player from Leeds. Winner of the Tzr250 Production Championship class of the MCA Scotland Series last year, so the pedigree is there. The notable absentee at the moment is that of Darren Dixon, and Dixon is in that leading bunch. Darren Dixon, well, Carter's boy is there. Earlier on this morning, Mr. Carter was giving a little bit of a reprimand to Mr. Dixon for 4 outings, 1 victory and 3 tumbles, and we're wanting it 5 outings, 2 victories. So Dixon is launching with a certain amount of intent. And Mr. Carter coming in now, I think that's another one of his men.
Johnny, sit down.
Number 29. This is only his second meeting in 18 months. Didn't race at all last year. Didn't race for half of this year. Got him in the place together seat. Now he's going very steep.
Yeah, I mean, you can put that in the middle of the pack. I mean, you can look there, Grand Prix campaigner and European campaigner, Jeff Fowler is in the middle of the pack. And so much of this race is quite literally still hinged upon the start. If you don't make it with the start, then you're a few doors. And look at the boys that did make it with the start. Well, what's a 5-sum? It's not a quartet, a quintet. Mr. Carter with his dictionary agreeing. And in toward the SSA go. And I fancy that in 4th position in that quintet, there might just be the danger man there in the form of Darren Dixon. Darren, somewhat of an enigma as a racer. He started life as a sidecar man, runners-up in the Marlborough Clubman Sidecar Championship behind Steve Webster. Then he went into obscurity, then came back with an RG 500, won one of the Marlborough Championship rounds at Lyddon, then went away again, came back with a 250 and won the 250 Star Championship last year. And he's up in the 3rd place now ahead of John Coyne. He's up ahead of John Coyne now, and Ian Ware and Brian Irving goes to stay on the boat, back at that leading boat. What a strap this is, and it's very much as we see in the earlier outings of the TZR Championship Series, with the race leader himself now coming under all sorts of pressure from Gary Thrush. Has gone around the outside, but still keep your eyes on Darren Dixon, number 4, in 3rd position. He has got to be the man with the experience. Carter's obviously got some money on this one. He's just agreeing on the terms of the debt. And, well, Ian Simpson we haven't seen in the leading position. He's another lad that is more than capable of getting a good result, notwithstanding the fact that he's very much a novice, son of former 3-time Scottish champion Bill Simpson. But he's running under number 33.
Down.
As we await on the race leaders, the young lad from Durban, now back at home in Barnes. He's in 2nd place, Flushy Lee. And on the tail end, well, leading the next bunch, coming back is Kevin Worsley. Now there, potentially, if he stays on, is a man who is more than capable of still winning this one. I say, if he stays on, his record of tumbles this year is second to none. He's fallen at Cadwell, he's fallen at Branstad, he's fallen in the Isle of Man, he's fallen in Ireland. Yes, Carter reminds me it's probably easier to name the circuit he hasn't fallen off of. But a rider with a great reservoir of talent, all he really needs to do is hone off the rough edges, and then Worsley is going to be a tremendous threat to be reckoned with. But we look for the leading bunch, whereby Dixon has eased his way up into 2nd place. I fancy a slightly broader grin on the Carter chops this time, indicating that his pound is coming nearer to home. Laps completed now are 8 laps, 2/3 race distance this will be. Well, more than that in fact, because this is 8 out of 10. Remember the race, and here's Gary Thrush, number 12. Collins back into 2nd place, John Coyne is 2nd. And where's he gone? He's done it again. Surely Darren Dixon has not done it again. It is not 5 starts, 4 tumbles and 1 win. It's very much as it is. He has done this. He went up the board. The in, and I would suggest that is all the rather sour boys once again up at Shaw's hairpin. Well, Mr. Dixon, after he tumbled the second time, because I'm taking no further part in proceedings with this year, he came out the third time, as he said the same then, he came out the fourth time, and he won then. And I'm sure now that he's going to say exactly the same thing, that he's going to retire from the series. But he was making the move. Was he making it too soon? Only he can tell. But net result is he's gone by the board. Gary Thrush, though, the sensation of last weekend's outing. It looks like Thrushy has got the old feathers nicely preened for this one again. The 24-year-old 10th in the 350 Yamaha Cup of 1985, and Thrushy is stretching that lead all the time now, ahead of David Byrne in second place, John Price in third, Hugh Brown in fourth, in fifth place, then it is the Charles Wade, and then Andy Muggleton is that, the drive with Charles Wade behind number 25, number 3, yes it is, Andy Muggleton, the local sign rider, and at the tail end of the field, number 9, Mark Langton going through, number 28, last one going through, and that's Keith Blacksmith. Race leader then, 1 lap to go, Anthony creeping there the time, in fact on the steady straight. A tremendous scrap for 8 of the lap, it then petered out just a little with the disappearance of Darren Dixon, but all credit to this boy, Gary Thrush, 24 years of age, entered by Granby Motorcycles of Ilkeston, the 1986 MCA 350 Production Clubman's Champion of Great Britain. And he's going to extend his championship lead by some 15 points. 15 points and a few more quid in the bank. There he is, he gets the win under points in second place, and it's David Ball, then number 10, John Kite, number 14, Ian Wales, then number 25, Charles Wade, number 3, Robertson, number 1, Kenneth Morton, then number 2, Jeff Fowler, picked up a number of places. Behind him, it was Gary Weston, behind Gary Weston, young Ian Simpson, behind Ian Simpson, Kiss Knight, and number 17 was behind him, David Neal. He in turn followed by number 23, Ian Locker, was he there, number 23? Oh, he was on foot back from victory in the 7-100, and behind him, number 9, Mark Langton, number 7, Steve Sorford, number 18, and still they come, Steve Hislop, the Junior TT winner, and that's just about it with and well, it would appear that there's quite an NCP car park assembling themselves up at the Shaw's hairpin on each lap, 2 riders per lap. Well, that's consistency if nothing else. Managed to tumble and park into the hairpin, so the retrieval situation, I would think, will take a short while. Well, Gary Thrush quite rightly thinks he's got a presentation now. Where's Mr. Cox? Mr. Cox with a few quid in his hand to pop down onto the start line. No presentation, unfortunately, for Gary Thrush, but indeed our congratulations on a very fine display. I think he merits at least a tour around this appreciation to Gary Thrush to win 2 outings on the trot in this sort of company. But if I...
Yeah. Because Brian's in with his chase now, isn't he? Well,
he's not doing much, is he?
He's not doing.
Tony Coupland has very rapid... Thrush, and as he puts on the back, Frushy on the back of his leathers. So, and there's Bruce Cox has come out of the bar, and he is now down on the start line.
I'm afraid I haven't got a very long one today, so we've got to drag you over here. A handshake from Bruce Cox, no kisses today. But what a cracking race. After last weekend, your confidence must have been up there. Just what was it like out there on the track?
Started getting real slippery towards the end for spots of rain.
Oh yeah. You kept Mum
After 10 laps. It was really exciting. I didn't know how far the next guy would be on. I dared to fast.
How many were there parked up at Shaw's hairpin?
I think there was about 3.
Oh, we heard there was about 2 a lap falling by the wayside up there. Who did you regard as your biggest threat, really?
Probably Darren Dixon and Kevin Maudsley.
Yeah, well, Kevin was quite some way behind the initial batch anyway. It took a long time to get through, but Johnny Towers certainly made you go.
You know, my eyes going real well. Uncle 3 tried it absolutely.
Well, Gary, you are going to have a tour around with no young ladies for you, but no doubt there'll be volunteers. And our thanks also to this superb gentleman, Mr. Cox, for getting this series together. Well done, Gary. Hope you have a fabulous day.